never have cooked food, especially that smells. For example, eggs. I remember we had this road trip and someone decided to bring eggs. Eggs smell, guys, like they literally like fill up the whole car. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Teniro
and I'm Chietza,
and we are Afro Nomads. So yeah, we are starting a new segment or series, whatever you want to call it, called Travel Tuesday.
So in this series, we're going to be focusing more on tips of traveling.
We'll be doing collaborations with travel bloggers, vloggers, and cinematographers, photographers. All of the shebang, anything to do with travel, that's what we'll be doing on Tuesdays.
And we'll also be informing you about places that we're thinking of going. And just opening the platform from you to you guys, asking from Twitter, Instagram, and all of that. So we want this to be as interactive as possible with you guys.
Yeah, so that means you'll be getting a video every Tuesday. We're hoping that we'll do a video every Tuesday, and so exciting times ahead, guys.
So in this segment, we're gonna start off with on how to plan a successful road trip.
Yep, so more like your road trip travel hacks, kind of like, right?
So whether you're going to Nyanga or a day trip, we're just gonna be discussing further about how to do it best. Well, that's from our experience.
Yeah,
just putting it out there.
Yeah. So tip number 1, I would say when you're planning for a road trip, I think the best thing to do is to wear comfortable clothes. There's nothing so annoying like having like tight jeans, like being uncomfortable, especially if it's a road trip that is so long, like for like 4 hours or 5 hours, even more. So I think it's always good to wear like sweats or t-shirts, something that's presentable but also comfortable. So whatever that you feel is comfortable, I think it's always good to wear that. So
but I think also another thing is dress for the occasion.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? So if you're like going to Mutora Shanga, you're better off wearing shorts and your bikini or whatever, if you want to wear it there, then it's better to do it that way than stack up like on wearing whatever people wear, jeans and all of that. Just wear something that's appropriate for that occasion.
So that's tip number 1.
Tip number 2 would definitely be sticking to time. So if you're gonna be like going to Nyanga or Mutarazi, wherever you want to go, you have to stick to your time. If you want to get there like at 9 or 11, whatever it is, always make sure that the people that you're traveling with stick to time. It's very important.
Because there's nothing so annoying like when you're planning to go there, like to get to a destination by 12 o'clock and then you end up getting there at 2 o'clock. So you always want to, be on time. So to our friends, be on time. So that's tip number 2. So tip number 3. Okay, tip number 3, I think one of the most important things to do is to make sure your car is in check. When I say in check, I think serviced. Make sure that your car has, the tires, your reflectors, everything that will ensure that it'll be a good road trip. Because if you don't do that, you will probably have some, problems during the road trip.
You never know what happens. So it's always good to be prepared, like for anything really, getting stuck in the mud or, getting a tire puncture. Or like, your car heating up. So you just need to be prepared for everything. So better be prepared. And also I think especially right now in Zim there's like a lot of fuel shortages, so I think it's always good to fill it up the night before. You don't want to be trying to look for fuel the day of the trip, so it's better to fuel up the night before. And also popos, it's always good to make sure that your car is in check. So man, so that's tip number 3, right? Tip number 3. And tip number 4 will be do your research of where you're going. Like I can't stress that enough. Do your research. GPS is great, It is great, but checking on their website. Most websites now have directions to how to get there and whatnot. So it's always good to do your research about where you're going and what forms of payment they want, if they require entrance fee or whatever it is. Just make sure that where you're going, do as much research as you can for it while you're planning for the trip. I think it's very important.
Yeah, talking about that, I think for example, I'll talk about like when we went to Bindura. It was a very spontaneous trip. We went there and we just relied on Google Maps. That worked. But in some cases, for example, when we went to Chimanimani, it didn't work that way. So always make sure that at least you have GPS and also like a backup plan or a map to just ensure that your trip will be smooth, because you don't want to be lost, especially if it's somewhere that you don't know. So that is tip number 4.
Tip number 4.
So tip number 5, I think it's always good to have a good playlist. You don't want to go on a road trip, especially if it's more than like 3 hours or even 2 hours. It's always good to have a good playlist. Growing up, I remember we always used to like play Oliver Mtukudzi. Literally from Harare to Gweru, we would play Oliver Mtukudzi all the time.
Like, I mean, it was nice to an extent, but you need to mix it up if you're gonna play pop or whatever you enjoy. It's always good to mix it up with the playlist.
So a good playlist is always needed.
Okay. So I think another good thing while you're planning, that would be tip number 5, sorry. While you're planning, it's always good to have a budget, guys.
Oh yeah.
It's always good to have a budget. Why I'm saying this is fuel, food, extra expensive. You never know what you might need, like while you're traveling. You never know how much more you might need once you get there. So it's always good to make a budget of like, especially when you're traveling with friends.
Exactly.
So that everyone contributes and doesn't feel cheated, or someone doesn't else feel like, I had to do this, whatever. Unless you're traveling obviously with a good crowd and people who don't really care. But if you're traveling with like, people who are really specific about budget, just always make sure that you guys have a budget. It's important.
Okay. Tip number 6 will be, I think it's always important to stop often. Like, when I say stop often, I mean like you need like stop by labors. Why? Because there's always something nice during like, especially when you're going to a place like Nyanga, there are always scenic views. Like, you always want to stop. I remember when we were going to, was it Nyanga? Mtarazi, yes. We stopped by this really beautiful place called fish, whatever thing.
We don't remember the name.
But like, it was really cool to see that actually people that are doing fish farming. So that was pretty cool, and there's always something nice. So stop often, man. Stop often.
And tip number 7 is to keep an open mind. When you're traveling, it's always good to be open-minded. That means like with everyone else you're traveling with, just guys, I'm telling you, right? Like, for example, you can travel, right, and you come across anything, like you don't know what you're prepared for. You're just going and taking a leap of faith, So it's always good to be with people who keep an open mind, just in case anything happens, or being spontaneous. So you want to be with people who are open-minded. Like, oh guys, instead of doing this, why not let's like divert and do this or whatever. So it's always good to keep an open mind and be with people who are open-minded. It makes the trip more fun and exciting and a bit more spontaneous. Spontaneous.
So that is tip number 7, 8. I don't know. The other tip is to always like buy snacks. First of all, let me address this issue. Never have cooked food, especially that smells. For example, eggs. I remember we had this road trip and someone decided to bring eggs. Eggs smell, guys. Like they literally like fill up the whole car. So I would say like buy things like chips, dry food. Yes, exactly. Dry food is always good. Or maybe sandwiches. I think sandwiches are okay. But in most cases, just buy dry food. And then if you want something that's hot, then just buy
stop over somewhere or
exactly,
whatever,
and then eat, and then come back in the car or whatever. But don't cook food. Don't do that.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
So yeah, I think snacks always make the trip a little bit better. So yeah.
Another tip is to always entertain the driver. You know, we always want the driver to be focused, to be up, especially if you're driving on, you know, long distances. You want someone who's gonna be, you know, focused on the road, but also entertained and not bored. Because, you know, if you sleep and then they're left by themselves driving, you kind of demotivate someone, because you all want to enjoy at the end of the day. So always entertain the driver, always play good music, you know, be interactive, you know.
It makes the drive a little bit more, you know, fun. Because if you're all sleeping, it will seem like it's a longer distance than it is actually is. So yeah, man. So you know, just entertain the driver, man. Especially if you're sitting at the front. Do not sleep. Don't sleep. Don't do it, guys.
Guys, don't. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for taking your time to watch our video, and we'll see you next Tuesday. All right.
Yes, and please also comment other tips that you have for traveling. You know, this is based on our own experience. So if you guys have any road trip tips or hacks, or how to plan a successful road trip, please comment below, and also join us on our Twitter, because we'll be discussing that on Tuesday. So yeah, thank you guys. Bye.